Padres making moves. We got to talk about a couple of different roster moves that the Friars have made on this episode of Padres Digest. What's going on, everybody? Christian Pedersen back with another episode of the show that's hanging in there. Like, we have less speculative and more factual stuff to talk about. So let's get to it. As always, want to hear from you guys throughout this entire video on everything that we got to talk about and more. You are a great baseball community. And if you want to join that community, hit the subscribe button. We got tons of content coming out all off season long. We will be your emotional support crutch. I don't know how factual or right or wrong about pontification we are, but we are all here as fans to suffer along for the ultimate outcome of a Padres World Series. You saw it there at the beginning. Let's talk about the first move that the Padres have made, bringing back a familiar face, Kyle Hart. He's back. Okay. A 1-year deal for 2026 with a club option in 2027. Floor is open for you guys on how you feel about this. He won in 2024, the KBO, the Korean Baseball Association. He won their version of the Cy Young. So is a guy who there's a good pitcher in there somewhere. Then he was asked to jump from the KBO straight into the major leagues. So I wanted to give him last year as like, that's a trade. You're not a rookie. So not it's like it's this massive jump, but it is a jump in both the talent level and the just contextual perception of like, I don't know who you're pitching in front of, where you're playing, all this kind of. I don't know. It's a jump. It's a jump for anybody that goes even from AAA to the majors. So, that combined with, per the initial concept of last season, he was supposed to be the 5 guy. It was going to be King and Cease and Darvish and Pivetta, and then Hart was a guy in competition to be that 5 and was like, oh, cool. He's a 5 and he's a lefty, and there's a little bit just something about him that you're like, that's the kind of guy that we don't mind giving that spot to. The numbers did not match that, especially as injuries and lack of consistency started to plague the rest of the starting pitching staff, and it was no longer that we had this room for like, oh, we can have a 5 who's, hey, he's a bit of a project, but well, we love him nonetheless. Yeah, because he's a lefty. We'll hang on to him because it's just a break. It just became, we can't sustain Kyle Hart being our 3 and getting freaking shellacked against the Tigers as per some of his earlier starts in the season. So he ends up having like an up and down journeyman kind of year, some good outings in the bullpen that looked nice, had a nice start or two, had a really bad start. Just nothing was consistent or prolific from him last year. But Padres bring him back for... this is a 1-year audition deal, but with that second option there. What do you think? Did 1 year of learning and regulating the major league level of all this put Kyle Hart on your ish list, on your good list? He's a guy who I guess right now we throw him back into that mix for the 5. We don't really have a wealth of starting pitchers. We're unsure about King right now. There are rumors on both sides that, it's going to be too expensive. We might actually get a deal on him because of the injuries, whatever. Cease seems gone. So Darvish and Cease are both non-options for this year. Musgrove's going to come back, but Musgrove, Pivetta, it's kind of all we got right now. And even if we re-sign King, there's still the 4 and the 5. Like Randy Vasquez and Kyle Hart, both in the same rotation. Certainly, I have made a case for, like, we just got to focus on hitting, and some of you are like, stop with the hitting. But, like, if this is what we're trotting out there right now, that, like, we brought Kyle Hart back, that him and JP Sears are going to have this, like, battle for who gets to be the lefty 5 starter. That's not a great situation to be in. Like, that's at the very best, that's a mediocre situation to be in. The worst, that's, like, almost apocalyptic, because every 5 days you're gonna be basically rolling a loaded dice against yourself. Like the dice is loaded the wrong way, not to help you, but unfavorably. Okay, so if he's in the bullpen though, I don't mind that. I like a lefty, longer relief kind of. I want him on the major league team. I don't mind him as the lefty long relief sort of can spot start guy, but I'm also just curious if what we saw last year was the max capabilities of his major league potential. Like if he's just a really good KBO pitcher and he's an okay major leaguer. I think that there's something there that he can tap into, and I will be curious if having a full off season with the Padres and Ruben Yabel and Craig Stammen can somehow get his mind right. Let me know what you think and where he falls in your interest level in this off season. The other one was this headline here about the Padres making moves. This kind of initially when I saw this, Padres signed ex-Mets Yankees free agent infielder, I was like, okay, curious. Kind of a fizzle of a story. It's about Pablo Reyes. He is a 32-year-old middle infielder who this is the summary of his 2025 campaign after having spent stints with several other major league squads over the last decade plus. He and the Mets, he did a sub 200 batting average in 25 games in the majors. This is kind of what I have been saying also along with the get hitting, is that the Padres are a bit of a cash-strapped organization right now. And none of the ownership sales stories are going to help that. So I have firmly believed that the Padres, if you look at the amount of money committed from last year at $215 and change, right now with Kyle Hart and some of the signees, they're at like $180, but they haven't filled out the roster. So bringing in guys like a league minimum minor league deal Pablo Reyes are going to be most likely how the Padres round out their bench. Is Reyes a guy who just needs a new a change of scenery and a new coat of paint and then he'll be fine? Probably not. Like there will probably best case scenario I can hope for this coming season is that the holes no longer are on the starting part of the team. Like the holes are not, oh my gosh, our catcher is only going to hit a $130, but it's like, hey, our 24 and 25th man are just not like what did it say? Versatile defenders. It brings versatile defenders to our 24th and 25th man spots. Does he even make the major league roster? I don't know. I'm just bringing you the facts that he has been signed, and I think that he is a forecast out of. We know that AJ Preller likes veterans, whether or not they have anything in the tank when he signs them. But this seems like why don't Jose Iglesias so far not brought back yet this offseason. He's still a free agent as of us recording this. Maybe he comes back and with Reyes, like the two of them together or in aggregate, that's an okay backup player, but you're somebody who it's like, hey, if they got to play second for 2 games, third for this DH guy so that Manny can DH, and it allows you to sign a couple of those guys and then have maybe just enough money to go do like a JT Realmuto and something at first, or an Arraez, or an O'Hearn, or I'm not saying that this signing is an indicator of those signings to come, but I'm saying that this signing is at least a condition of those signings, even potentially existing, is instead of, a bunch of mid-tier, it's going to be some dudes down here and then maybe 1 or 2 spins up here. So that's where we're at. Kyle Hart is back. Pablo Reyes is now a Padre. Let me know what you think. Hit the subscribe button if you would be so inclined. Until next time, we'll talk to you guys soon.